nos dijo sobre cualquier cosa. Y a ver, si a mí me dice sobre cualquier cosa, yo vengo a hablar de software libre. Para mí, yo vengo a hablar de mi libro, ¿vale? Software libre siempre es mi tema de cabecera, así que decidí hacerlo sobre eso. Y resulta que Cristian, un compañero, también trabaja con nosotros. Él es alemán, no habla español, ¿vale? Pero yo tampoco hablo alemán, así que no. En la empresa se trabaja en inglés, como en todas las empresas internacionales. Y él también es un apasionado del software libre y dijo, oye, pues, ¿puedo ir? Entonces yo pregunté, digo, ¿puede venir el compañero y hacemos la charla en inglés? Y dijeron, sí. Porque la gente se tiene que poner las pilas con el inglés de dos modos, así que adelante. Y eso es lo que hice, ¿vale? Entonces, mi idea era repetir una presentación que ya hice para alumnos del Rincón en 2009 o así, sobre el software libre, pero hasta mañana no la encontré, no sé dónde tengo el archivo de ese, así que simplemente improvisé algo, cogí algunas transparencias de esa charla de Moy y cogí otras, inventé 3 o 4 cosas, y la idea es que, bueno, pues eso además sirve de excusa, como no está preparada, para hacerla más interactiva. Cualquier cosa que quieran, es un poco improvisado todo, o sea, cualquier cosa que quieran aclarar, lo que sea, pues simplemente interrumpan todas las veces que quieran, pregunten en inglés o en español. Intentaré también, de vez en cuando, si veo demasiadas caras de póker, saltar un poco al español o los puntos que me gustaría dejar claro hacer en español, pero en general, y como digo, interrumpan lo que quieran, ¿vale? Y pregunten en el idioma que se sientan más cómodos, que no pronuncien incluso en alemán. Si hablan alemán, pues les voy a preguntar en alemán. Vale. Pues dicho eso, I'm going to switch to English now. So I hope it's not a problem. So anyway, you have to catch up. The word is in English, so sorry. So as I said, they invite us to come here, and they said you have 1 hour to talk to about something to teachers, and if I have an opportunity to say something to teachers during an hour, that will be, I will encourage them to teach open source and free software, and to spread open source and free software, because we have always been free software enthusiasts, even I would say free software activists. And when we were students, long time ago for me, not so I think. Something I really didn't like is that the teachers were not really teaching and promoting and encouraging open source and free software. And there was that idea on the students and also on the teachers and in general that, yeah, I'm not teaching open source because I have to prepare the guys for real life, and I have to teach them the technologies that the real local companies really demand. So somehow they have to choose between free software, which is nice from the philosophical point of view, or getting a professional career and getting money and all that. And I really think that is completely wrong. I mean, you don't have to choose. Actually, it's probably better for your professional career to go into open source and to do everything in the open, and there is a lot of companies just getting a lot of money just doing free software. And I would like to explain why it's so important, in my opinion, for the teachers to take that into account. And now that we have students, also for you as a student to really. So next slide. Well, we are not here to sell our products, so we are the company is worth mentioning. The company we work with or we work through, because actually they are allowing us to come here. This is for us working, so we are developers, we are software engineers, but whenever we want to go to talk about free software and open source, we just get the day for free and we are free to do it. So the company really encouraged us. The tagline, the slogan of the company is open source is in our genes, and it's totally true. I mean, we work completely in the open. Every single line of code that is written in that company is open source and is available on the internet and all that. And even the company sponsors a free software project called Open SUSE. That means they pay the servers, the people, whatever is needed for whoever wants to just work on open source. Okay, so it's really a real commitment to open source, and it's coming from a company, from a big company. It's like 1,000 employees, and yeah, it's all free software. So there's money in free software, and there are even biggest companies than we have Red Hat, this 3 or 4 times as big as we are, and they do everything in the open, and yeah, they also pay German salaries and American salaries, so yeah, there is a future on that, okay? So, let's see, and even, but maybe more interesting for you as students, we are already 8 people working from Canary for SUSE. Okay, I'm working here from Gran Canaria. We have a small office here, and we are 5 people. We are trying to convince Christian to join, to move here. And we have a guy in Lanzarote, another one in Tenerife, and one that decided to move to Nuremberg just because he wanted, but he also had the opportunity to work from here. And another thing you could be wondering, yes, we have German salaries. Okay, so the slides are in Spanish to make you kind of easier to follow the whole thing. And I hope at this point in time I don't need to explain to people who is studying computers and who is taking computers what free software is about. But it's always good to just refresh the concept. So there are several definitions of free software, but let's say the canonical one says that the software is free if it provides 4 freedoms to the users. That is, the freedom to run the program for anything you want to. If there is in the license, it says you cannot use this for whatever, then it's not free. Okay. The freedom to study the code, the program and change it. That means that you have to have the source code. You cannot do it without the source code. So that's a prerequisite for freedom 1. Of course, they start in 0 because it's a freaky thing. So. And the possibility to redistribute copies of the software, so you can just copy the software to somebody else just to help him, and the possibility to distribute your own modifications. So whoever uses the software somehow owns the software as much as you. So you created the software and you are giving to the people, and the people owns the software as much as you own it when you create it. And and why do we believe that the free software should not only be present in education, but should be the default in education? So everything we teach should be based on open source. First of all, because open source and free software, I use both. They are actually in a purely practical meaning that they are the same. The difference is kind of philosophical. So when you say free software, is that you care more about the idea behind, and open source is usually used by companies because they are scared to look like hippies. But in general, it's actually in practice the same. So teaching is about sharing knowledge, and I cannot really imagine that you are trying to teach something to someone with closed source, with an application that you cannot open and see what is happening behind. And I usually use the typical example of just imagine that the Pythagoras theorem was closed source. So he invited, and he's the only one who can use it, or you can use it paying him, but you cannot understand. It's like a black box. Yeah, you put the numbers here, and the numbers and the result goes there, and that's all you can do. And you cannot develop on top of that. We wouldn't have any mathematics at all. We wouldn't have buildings or architecture or whatever, because everything is based on the idea that you do mathematical, scientific, whatever. You generate some knowledge, and then some people does something else with that, and that's teaching. I mean, if you are teaching something that you cannot touch, that's not teaching, in my opinion. So no more black boxes. When you are using a library, I mean, for me, when I was a student and I discovered free software, for me it was shocking because I was using a library and something was wrong, and I just went to the source code of the library. I was just reading, I was debugging, adding breakpoints, even my operating system. The first time I realized that I could actually modify the operating system I'm working in real time and changing everything in the machine. That's the only way a professional can learn. I mean, you are a professional. You are supposed to know everything. If you use a tool that is a black box, you are you are not learning, you are not evolving as a professional, and you need that. Another idea is that with free software, with proprietary software, there is always one guy, usually called Bill Gates, or what used to be called Bill Gates, now it's probably somebody at any other company, that really makes the money. I mean, every time you do something with proprietary software, you are actually making him more rich and not you. I mean, so in the end, you are earning 5 just because he's earning, I don't know, 100. So with free software, it's true you will not become as rich as Bill Gates, but you will benefit. We all can benefit. So instead of having a very rich guy and people that just survive, we can all improve and all share the benefits. And something very important is innovation. We have grown with that idea that the innovation happens in some garage in the United States where some genius is just there in the garage inventing Google. Google started in a garage because there were 2 very smart guys in a garage and they invented Google. And the same for the Macs, there were Bosniak and Jobs in a garage and they invented the first personal computer. But actually it's all bullshit, it's not true. It's plain. If you really go to study the history of those companies, of course, Google had a garage. They were renting the garage when they already had 10 employees, $1 million of investors. The company was already 2 years old, and they stayed in that garage for 5 months. So they really rented the garage just to pretend they were born, just all of them together. And the same goes for Apple. In that case, there was no garage at all. They invented everything. Why they were able to create, for example, the first personal computer? Not because they were isolated, but because they were actually working for HP. So they were surrounded by smart engineers, and they were sharing ideas and knowledge, and that's how they came with the idea of a personal computer, and that's how they made it possible. Not an isolation at all, but quite the opposite. Collaborating is really, if you look at any innovation that is made in web development, for example, is all done in free software. The companies and the people that is creating new things are doing by talking to each other. So innovation always comes from communities. Innovation don't come from individuals, just working 1-2 guys in a basement. Innovation always is a result of community work. Other things why I believe it's important is that what you do is public, and that's actually very good for you. It's good for you because everybody see what you can do, even the bad things, and it's better for you because you will care more about quality. I mean, if you can just put some layer on, okay, I will do this ugly thing and it will work and nobody will know, but now you have the whole world looking at what you are doing, and you become more conscious about the quality and why you have to do something that you are proud of. And that's, in the long term, at the beginning can be annoying that you cannot do dirty things anymore because everybody will know, but in the end it's really better for you because you are more pressure to improve and everybody can find you. I mean, it's good to have you don't need a resume, a CV. You don't need to put in a piece of paper what you can do. Everybody can just go on the internet and see what you can do. So you don't need to lie or to convince nobody. You just have your work to prove what you know. And you have your work displayed to the whole world. For example, I'm a guy from Canary Island. I was born here. Well, I was born in Tenerife actually, but I was born here, I grew here, and now I'm working with Christian and another 1,000 people from all over the world. And I communicate every day with a lot of people from all over the world. So your market is not local companies anymore. You are here to work in the world. And that's something that is very visible with free software, that you simply put things on the open. I do it with my projects and I get collaborators from anywhere in completely unexpected ways. And somebody fixes a bug in my code and he's, I don't know, some Chinese or Indian guy, whatever. And it's really something that you should have. There is also no, I don't know if you teach here about continuous delivery, that idea that when you have a software, you have to build it and to make it available as soon as possible. So you know that it's kind of a modern concept that many companies are trying to apply. And in free software, that's simply the default. In free software, there is a saying that is release early, release often. And that has been always like that. You can take the Firefox build of last night. It's not Firefox 43 or 44, it's something in between, but it's there. They build everything all the time. And that's a quality assessment, because if you can always build your code and release what you have, that's where if you have more eyes looking into it, they will cut every failure they have. And that's something that companies are starting to do now, because it's good for the quality, but it's simply the default for open source. You simply are delivering all the time because it's how you do it. And well, it's not the last point, it's just another point. I could be, as I said, I just improvised it and put some notes on some random slides, so I would be probably able to find like 20 more points. But it's about collaboration and learning how to collaborate with other developers, for example. I usually also say that nobody in the world can build a mobile phone. There's nobody in the world who can build this. Because some people can maybe do the radio circuits. Some people maybe have the skill to create a battery, but nobody has the skill to create a battery, create a radio circuit, create a whatever, and then if somebody's kind of a genius and knows all that, he doesn't know, you can go to the next level. He doesn't know how to get the materials, because he doesn't know about mineral. He just cannot go into a mine and get the correct minerals because he has no clue. So even a hardware genius really cannot create this. He needs a lot of people. And then you go to the software, and yeah, the guy who knows how to do a compiler probably doesn't know how to program operating system, whatever. So really, every single piece of technology that you are using every day is always based on very big teams working together. And that's something very important when you are teaching computer science and you are teaching how to program. Okay, you need to teach the guys how to actually write the code, how to compile it and all that. But you also have to teach them how can they work together, which tools do they have, so they're not simply send the source code by mail. So I will start, and when I'm half done, I will send it to you by mail, and you continue. And obviously, things like Linux are not built that way. Obviously, there are tools for collaborating, for coordinating all like 500 developers working on the same piece of code. So obviously, something you cannot just coordinate by talking and some mails. So there's a lot of tools and processes there that are involved in any free software project that are the same tools and processes that are used in companies to build software. It's just the right way to build software when you are more than one person, which is always the case, because nobody can do nothing in isolation. So that, if you get used to work with free software while you are studying, when you go to a company, you already know all those tools and all those ways to work. So, ¿se sigue bien? Sí. El acento español ayuda. Si fuera de Londres hay un acento perfecto, no me entenderían, pero lo bueno del inglés es que se entiende siempre que no lo hablo en inglés. Oh, claro. Son mis buenos. So, ¿qué vamos a hacer con el tiempo? Porque pasamos tardillo y es... Okay, so going back to the tools, I want to believe that everybody who writes code uses a control version system like Git or version if you are from the past or something like that, and GitHub. And actually getting used to work with GitHub, which is the default open source environment to work with, is the best way not only to know how to collaborate with all that people and all that, is also the best CV, the best resume you can have. So if you want to find a job and you are already working in some open source project, you just give them this, okay, my nickname in GitHub is techie tokens, and that's it. You don't need to write who you are, what you know, what you can do. It's all there. Your work is public, and GitHub really changed everything for free software, because before it was not that easy to contribute, because yeah, the code was there, but you had to coordinate with the developers with some mailing list by mail, and then getting your code in was, yeah, it's not that easy. But now with GitHub, anybody, and when I say anybody, anybody, even people that is not developers, can really, in a very, very, very easy and very, very straightforward way, just fix a bug. So you are using whatever, Firefox, or Firefox is maybe a little bit complex project, but whatever, even a typo. So you are using Firefox and you see that some word is not properly translated into Spanish because they did it, I don't know, or it was done by somebody that used localings or just did a typo and there's a missing tilde. I don't care. You just can go to GitHub and fix it. Just like that. And you send the pull request and it will accept it and that's all. And we could even talk a little bit more about pull requests and all that, but yeah, we're going to try to go through all the slides. There's also tools we use in combination with GitLab. That's another GitHub. That's another slide I stole from Moises' presentation, but yeah, we can probably maybe if we have more time at the end, we can talk about how we do this. Now this is not exactly in open source, but it's a particular methodology we use for this release offering. And to iterate and always release something in 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's a particular methodology, agile methodology called Scrum. So as I said, this should be kind of interactive. So at the end, if you want to learn more about Scrum or how we in SUSE in the company, how we release, how we develop the software in a continuous way, so always getting improvement and all that, we can go back to this slide. So, okay, I already convinced you, I see in your face that you are now really convinced to go into open source and you will not touch a single line. Well, you cannot touch a line of proprietary software because you don't have the source code, but you will not touch whatever proprietary software anymore. So, how do I start? Okay, that's you. All you have to do is to start. I mean, it's, as I said, with GitHub analysis, very, very easy. You just need to find what you like to work with. Not what the companies, local companies demand, what is the most demanded skills. I will learn Java just because I know that companies like Java. It's not about that. I never did that. And I have been working as a professional for more than 10 years. And I never choose a language or a platform or a technology because the market pushes me. I just choose the languages I want, I enjoy working with. You are going to spend 8 hours a day working. So better work with something you enjoy. Okay, so just 8 hours in the best case. And of course, start with English. It's the official, vehicle language for everything in this world. That's it. Esperanto fail. So, and actually you already know English because you are here and you are understanding. Okay, I have a Spanish accent, so it's easier, but that's already a start. And you were studying English in the school, and then in the high school, whatever, so the knowledge is already there. You just need to start practicing. And the only way to practice is to practice. I didn't go to any extra English lesson in my whole life, more beyond the school. I just went to the school and I learned like all of you did. And at some point, since I like it, free software, I was forced to interact with people all over the world, and I just started to speak. And this is all you need. So just look for something to fix, something that needs, whatever. I just start collaborating and getting used to that collaboration. And as I said, working GitHub. But even if it's that easy, most free software projects or companies have some kind of programs to help you even more to get started. Okay, and for that I will say that now is time for Christian because he knows a lot about that. Really a lot. He will tell you why.
So yeah, like Anka already told you, so one starting point could be that you're using a software every day and you're really curious and you want to start, or encounter some bug and you want to fix it, and you just go right away to GitHub and fix it. But there is, for instance, one very famous program, or one of the first of these programs. This is called Google Summer of Code. So it's invented and maintained by Google. So every year they take a lot of money and give out internships, or not really internships, kind of an internship, to university students to work on open source. So they get 3 months payment just to work on open source. And for instance, in SUSE we collaborate there. So in fact, I think next week is the announcement for this year. And this is how I started with open source. I did it 2013, so I think so 3 years ago or 4 years ago. Anchor was one mentor back then. So the idea is to get pairs of a student with a already experienced open source developer, get them together, and he will introduce them to open source, to the community, because this is also really important. He talked a lot about the code, but it's even more important are the people, so that you get to know all the people involved, which people you need to talk to, how to get your code in. So that is really important, and these programs are, or this program is to introduce you to the community, and it starts because you're curious and you want to learn about code and you're a developer, but you stay because you like the people. It's not because you like coding. Of course you like coding, but it's about the people. And actually being an open source developer changed a lot in my life. So I'm here now in Canary Island. I have friends all around the world. The last 3 years I traveled a lot, so I was several times in the United States. I'm now in Canary Island. I was in many different countries in Europe. So it added a lot of value to my life, because I mean it's not it's work, but I'm a professional developer working my whole time, or 80% of my time I work on open source. And so I do it because it's fun. Probably if I wouldn't work for SUSE, I probably would do exactly the same in my spare time. So there's, of course, there's some parts of my work which I don't like that much. That's everywhere. But most of the time I really like to work in open source, and I really like to work what I do, and I really like the people I work together. So yeah, that is Google Summer of Code. It's to go back to the introduction. So it's programmed by Google. They pay you for 3 months, so you have to apply around February. They are all big open source projects are taking part in this program. We as OpenSUSE take part. There's like Apache, Linux kernel, Ruby on Rails framework, so all big companies participate in this program. Then you have to apply around February, March. Then it runs from May till August. So it clashes a little bit with the European curriculum, because it's originally an United States program, and they usually have in summer break, so they can do this in their summer break. But still, for instance, I took once, that was my last year in university, so I only had a few classes, so I did this full time and just skipped the classes, because I really wanted to do that. So that is one of the famous programs. There's another one. There's another one that is Race Girls. The idea behind this program is to get more women into open source and also in programming, because we all know that computer science and programming is dominated by male, or by white male developers. So this idea is to get more diversion into programming. And we also participate in OpenSUSE, so because we have a lot of Ruby on Rails projects. Yeah, that is one program. It's called Rails Girls, but you can also do Python, for instance, or they started with Rails.